Gentlemen, damen and herren, mesdames et messieurs, welcome to the Vincent Charles Project. I'm your host, Vincent Charles. And tonight, we've got a treat for you. I have three very special guests, and we're going to talk about something near and dear to everybody's hearts. We're going to talk about music, but we're going to talk about music from films and television. And if you're in the chat, please feel free to bring up any suggestions, thoughts, gripes, complaints you might have. So we're just going to go ahead and get right to it. First of all, you know him, you love him. He is my brother from another mother, Mr. Ordnance J. Packard. Ordy, how you doing?
Oh, just having every theme song from every movie and TV I have ever seen in my life running through my head to pick out the best and worst.
Nice. Oh, don't worry. I did that.
I've got that going for me, which is nice.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's go ahead and put that link out. And next on the agenda, you know him, you love him. He's the wizard of KLRN. Comes up with all kinds of fancy graphics, awesome music, and everything in between. Jeff, how you doing, my brother?
What's up, Doc?
And let me guess, your list is going to be nothing but Bugs Bunny films, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong.
No, actually, I'm not even sure I have any of that on my list because I went through. I made this list because, as Ordy will tell you, I am overly OCD on this kind of stuff. So I have a complete list with at least 10 movies that people have done. So I'm ready.
Sweet.
He has listicles for his testicles.
Yes, I do, and they're huge.
Oh, and Deadeye is first in the chat. Gets on the big screen. Good evening to you, sir. And finally, last but certainly not least, you know her. You love her. She is the resident Star Trek and tea expert, Miss Janelle Laws. Janelle, how are you doing?
Hoi, I'm out of my writer's block and ready to talk music.
Outstanding.
And now I'm feverishly writing down TV theme songs that I like.
Okay, fair enough.
Yep.
Well, since you're writing everything down, we'll go back through the order. We'll start with Ordy. Ordy.
Yes, hi, present.
Talk to me, brother. What film and TV scores blow your skirt up, and which ones make you want to violently lash out at people?
That's an incredibly complex question. Okay, because we're coming up in October and the 31 Days of Boingo, I'm not going to talk specific soundtracks. I'm going to talk composers but Danny Elfman. If it's said that people have, their music has a DNA to it where you can kind of spot them out, Danny Elfman's a fucking fingerprint. Yeah. You can't miss it, no matter how hard you try.
Oh, I was waiting for you to mention him because I was going to do my Danny Elfman soundtrack imitation. Danny Elfman. This is a song by Danny Elfman. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, no, and that's exactly true. It's got that frantic, rhythmic, repetitive kind of. He never picked up a musical instrument before the age of 12.
Yeah, he was too weak.
No, he has no classical, he has no training whatsoever. He picked up a violin at 12, started dicking around on it, and then he started running around with his brother Richard for the Mystic Knights of Oingo Boingo. And then, Richard decided he wanted to do movies after Forbidden Zone. So handed off the Mystic Knights to Danny, and then there was Oingo Boingo. And then there was every single soundtrack Tim Burton has ever had for every movie.
I was going to say every single soundtrack from 1988 until the mid-90s was Danny Elfman.
Yeah. No, on TV and in movies. And I don't think it's too far of a stretch to say that he is exactly like John Williams, or has evolved into that, because it's like John Williams could take a symphony orchestra and do Jaws, Indiana Jones, Star Wars, whatever. Danny Elfman could take that exact same orchestra and do The Simpsons and Edward Scissorhands, and it's really amazing, actually.
Yeah, like you said, a lot of his compositions and pieces are repetitive. A lot of them sound alike. There are things that he does that nobody else does, and you can tell immediately by hearing him. But I think probably the most subtle, I don't want to say subtle, but different, or maybe I should say more nuanced soundtrack he did was for Sleepy Hollow.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was very
That was a good one. That's probably my favorite one that he's done.
that and what was the other one that had Depp and Helena Bonham Carter in it, other than every Tim Burton movie?
Yes, you're
gonna
not
say,
limiting.
can you
You're
help
not
narrow
limiting
it
it
down?
down here.
Yeah, I know. No,
narrow it
I
down.
know. Could I be more vague? Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down? Sweeney Todd. That was also quite subdued. But that's for movies and a little bit of TV. But going with that too, you have to go for composers. You have to go with, for television specifically, you have to go with the absolute monster that is Bear McCreary.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's.
Absolutely.
I mean, Battlestar Galactica, Walking Dead, Eureka, Terminator, Agents of Shield, Black Sails.
He's done many video games as well.
Yeah, an insane amount of video games.
He's a monster in most formats. Yeah. But
the one I have to say I like the least, just the one who just absolutely pisses me off, Hans Zimmer.
Oh my God. Dude,
Did he do Lion King, or am I thinking of someone else?
No, he did Lion King.
Okay.
No,
I was gonna say Lion King was good.
We share a brain. This much is obvious because he is also my least favorite composer. What I don't want to say least favorite, I want to say most disappointing.
He's my number 4 favorite.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's done stuff that I liked. I loved the soundtrack to Hannibal.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
I love the soundtrack to The Power of One.
The Last Samurai soundtrack is otherworldly.
Right, but you get into like Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, or Black Hawk Down. It's just if you were to somehow take the sound of someone's head going up their own ass with magnificence, he is to music. He is to music what David Lynch is to film.
And
don't you dare! Don't you fucking dare!
Hang on,
I will not have anyone besmirch David Lynch on my show.
First Jardinera, now David Lynch.
When you can get past David Lynch masturbating to his own genius, then he has. When you get past that, then you're like, wow, this is fucking amazing, and not just because he's jerking off to his own. And Hans Zimmer is like that with me. I'm sorry. You just
hate him because of the Dune.
No, actually, I hate him because of Black Hawk Down.
Okay. Yeah, he's number 4 on my favorite. He's also number 2 on my least favorite because when he bombs. He bombs hard. But with him, for me, there's no middle ground. It's like, yeah.
I mean, he did Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which says a lot.
No, see, that's the thing. He did only a very little bit. He did a couple of incidental themes.
Okay.
For Call of Duty, Lorne Balfe did the rest of the soundtrack.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get nearly enough credit for doing it. And he's done some films as well, although he does more games than films. But the films that he's done, I'd have to look them up. He does, like independent projects and stuff like that. Films that are very good, but they don't make a lot of money, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
one name I'm going to throw out there too, and it's a little known name, is Edward Rogers, just for the theme song to Warehouse 13. There has never been a theme song that has really given the entire feel of a TV show quite like that one has.
And it's amazing that you bring it up because you brought it up on Juxtaposition last night, and I was checking, and I'm like, holy shit, it dropped on Prime again. And I'm like, oh, this is amazing. And Gojira's here. Yo!
Huge.
Let's put it on the big screen. But yeah, so immediately I put it back in my favorites list. I got through 3 episodes last night before I finally fell asleep. But I'm getting close to getting midway through season 1. Awesome show. Love it.
Yeah, it really is. It's a gem. Okay, that's enough about me. Unless you had further questions.
No, not directly offhand. So we'll move on to Jeff, because I know Jeff has a rather extensive list he wants to burn through.
Well, I'm going to start with the worst soundtrack ever for me is a Heath Ledger film. And I know I'm going to get so much crap for this, but I absolutely hated A Knight's Tale music or whatever that
I hated everything about that movie.
there were some I like Paul Bettany in that, but the music,
Everything about this movie is wrong.
yes. Yes. I refused to watch that movie just because of the advertisement, the trailer, for 4 years. Because no, you don't do this. No.
I refuse to even use the GIFs.
Yeah, pretty much. The but my favorite and my first 2 favorites are sentimental picks. My all-time favorite composer is Henry Mancini.
Oh, good call. Good call.
Yeah.
Panther, Breakfast at Tiffany's, Peter Gunn, Victor Victoria, Days of Wine and Roses.
Also, one for my top favorite opening theme for any movie, and that was the opening theme to Life Force.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is just, I mean, they used to use that, the NFL used to use that for, back in the days when they were on like actual network television and they were doing highlight reels, they used that song for it. And it's still awesome to this day. So I love it.
Yeah. So yeah, that was what got me in the music at a very young age. And the second one is a composer who got me into jazz, who I think has probably produced the most known song as far as TV and movies ever, and that's Vince Guaraldi.
Oh, another good call. Very nice. Damn,
Yeah.
damn, Jeff came to play. Oh dear, that's going on the big board. Heresy. Oh Jesus, this is going far better than I expected. I figured we would have gone off the rails by now, but yeah, this is great.
And
Oh, there's plenty of time for that.
I have 2 others that I do want to mention.
Yeah, go ahead.
Number 7 on my list is Alf Clausen.
Yeah,
Oh,
he does
did
he does the regular
Simpsons.
incidental music for The Simpsons.
And Moonlighting,
The Land
and-
of Chocolate.
Yes.
and Alf, and the Weird Al Show, and The Critic.
Oh damn.
Stinks.
Yeah. What's that?
It
It
stinks.
stinks.
Yeah, and my number 10 is Alan Menken. He's also on my least favorite list, but he earns the honorable mention at number 10 for one song and one song only. Under the Sea.
Oh Jesus.
Because
That'll get you on both lists.
anyone that can write the following words, darling, it's better, down where it's wetter, take it from me, makes my
Yeah.
top 10 list.
And
There
the
was
bottom.
a Simpsons version of that song as well, you know.
Yes.
It involved
There'll
Homer
be
eating.
no accusations, just friendly crustaceans under the sea.
Didn't he eat everything while he was singing?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't solve every problem by moving under the sea. It's not going to happen. Not with that attitude.
Beat me to it. Okay.
I have to wonder if the character of Buzz Killington on Family Guy was molded after Marge.
I don't. Oh God! Now I'm going to be thinking about that all
I
night.
never really watched Family Guy, so I can't comment.
I think it might be part of it.
Then Marge is the perpetual buzzkill.
Mm-hmm.
At least it's
me,
just the
they're all
answer to a
cracked and
question that nobody
broken.
asked.
Yeah, but on the other hand, every once in a while she says, "I think they're neat."
Watch out for the shack attack.
Well, if loving kids is being lame, then I guess I'm just a big lame.
Every Simpson dance now.
Oh my God! Yeah,
And off the rails.
off the rails. No, we're definitely.
You
Gonna
need to come up with a sounder for that or something.
Yeah, I think Janelle is quite fortunate to have never lived through the time when the Bartman was on every top 40 radio station.
Oh my God!
I think I looked it up on YouTube once and I clicked out of it pretty quickly.
Yeah,
As one
and-
does.
yeah.
But you didn't have to live through it, Janelle.
No.
Thanks for pouring the salt on that wound.
Yeah,
You know
didn't
what?
have to- you didn't have to live
There's some
through it.
advantages to being born in 92.
You didn't have to live through it being played twice an hour on every radio station, and you would
Yes.
change the radio station to avoid it, and it would be on another radio station because
Oh,
they
you
would be
said that
playing-
about
go
the
to
Greatest
England.
American Hero theme, too.
Yes.
Now, that song I could play on loop practically.
No, this coming from a woman who plays the trees constantly.
I blame you for that.
Okay.
Damn it, Jerry Goldsmith.
Bartman or Party All the Time by Eddie Murphy.
Party all the time,
There's-
definitely. I will listen
Yeah.
to Party all the time.
I
would
came
listen-
up with a parody that's like tired all the time, tired all the time, tired all the time.
Oh, you're not in your 50s yet, so you don't have to sing that. But yeah,
You may think you're tired all the time.
but
Well,
you don't know what tired is, lady.
But I have old lady tummy too. I can't handle the jardinera.
Demon jumps in my body. Oh, you're possessed. Ow! What's up with the shoulder? Why does everything hurt? I don't know, man. You want a mint?
There's also Bruce Willis, Express Yourself.
Ugh.
Yeah,
But he
another one.
redeemed himself with the Seagram's wine commercials.
Yes,
Seagram's.
that more than made up for the return of Bruno. Yeah, which was like the Hudson Hawk of albums, except it was bad.
I know, I still gotta watch Hudson Hawk.
Yes, yes, you do. And we're
And
gonna,
well, while we're talking about that, how about Andrew Dice Clay with But I Ain't Got You?
oh yeah,
That
she
was
needs
good.
to watch. She needs to watch Ford Fairlane too.
Yes, she does.
What was it called? Ford.
The
Adventures
Adventures of Ford
Fairlane.
Fairlane. Oh, that takes me back.
Yeah, Gilbert Gottfried, Wayne
Yeah.
Newton,
Yeah.
Priscilla Presley.
Yes.
Nice beaver.
Okay, Janelle, you don't have time.
When I
to
was
write
10
all that
years
stuff down.
old, I caught my father having sex with my pony. Does that arouse you? I don't know. I've never met your father.
Do I want to know?
That's from Ford Fairlane.
Yeah,
You'll appreciate it.
it's awesome. It is.
I
Really.
don't know if
You
I
need-
want to
you need see
know.
it. But while you're writing everything down, Janelle, why don't you tell us your
Oh
highs and your
boy,
lows?
where do I even start?
Begin at the beginning.
Well, the beginning would be Dune, Toto's soundtrack to Dune, 1984.
Yes. Well done.
You know, and the thing is, it's so over the top 80s. It's got all that 80s cheese, shredding guitars. They use synthesizers all that. Yeah, I suppose, the synthesizers are going in there too. But it's so good, you just don't care. It's just a great soundtrack. I love it. It's cheesy and it's great.
Okay, because you said that, I'm going to not make fun of you for not having seen Hudson Hawk and The Adventures of Ford Fairlane yet. So you get a pass.
Wait, what'd I say?
You said the Dune soundtrack was awesome, and it is.
It's
I
one
love
of my favorite soundtracks. But let's see, a couple of highlights off the soundtrack. Take My Hand, which I think we talked a couple of days ago, I think.
Yeah, we did.
Great credit song. I love that song. There's a half an hour version that I would play a lot, while I was working on stuff in the background. One song that I don't think got into the movie, Riding the Sandworm, kind of starts off with some percussion and it's kind of smooth, and the shredding guitars go in there. Really great song.
It wasn't in the theatrical version. It's in the Spice Diver cut.
Ah, okay. So that's why it's all over the place.
Yeah, that restored a lot of scenes and a lot of the music that was left out of the theatrical cut.
Because I never watched the Spice Diver version, but I've seen some of the deleted scenes, what's his face getting killed by Paul? Jamis. Yeah.
Jamis, yeah.
And then I think Hera was in there with her kids. I think. The wife.
Yep.
The only reason I know who she is because she was in the Sega CD game. Where she was like, my husband was killed by a young man, and you're playing as Paul, and it's like, dude. It's like, I'm right here.
But yeah, while you continue to discuss that, I'm going to find the link to the Spice Diver Reddit, and I'll send it to you.
The one song, Paul Meets Chani's, got this nice outer worldly experience, quality, and really enjoy that song as well. Big Battle, shredding guitars while riding a sandworm, can't go wrong with that. What else should I talk about? Did we start talking about Jerry Goldsmith? Really, we mentioned him a little bit. But yeah,
we were talking about him in the green room, but I remember you wanted to bring it up. So please, by all means, if you want to talk about him, do so.
I've been going through the Medicine Man soundtrack, for the last couple of days. The Trees, that song, where the music swells up, and I've been playing that song on loop yesterday practically. It's a great little song. The beginning song, Ray's Arrival, where it's got that upbeat traditional music going, and right away, when Jerry Goldsmith's name comes up, in the opening credits, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be a good soundtrack. Similar song was The Harvest, where I think they're picking the flowers or something.
Yeah,
I only watched the movie once. That was a good song as well.
That was when they were heading up into the trees.
Wait, then what about the trees?
That led into the song.
Oh, wait. Never mind, I only watched the movie once. Because I thought the trees came first, and then it was the harvest was later on. It was all together?
Right. That may have been when they were doing the ants,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right.
The scene where I'm like, guys, check the spiders, except they were ants. The entire time I'm like, guys,
they're just really big fucking ants.
I'm like,
yeah.
look at the spiders.
It was foreshadowing.
But let's see. You got the same gentle melody being repeated throughout the soundtrack. You hear it in the trees, and then it's in a couple of the other songs. It's kind of nice. For Medicine Man. What else? And anybody, feel free to jump in. Otherwise, I'm just reading through my little notes here.
Goldsmith was number 5 on my list.
He's pretty good. I mean,
Alien, Gremlins, Basic Instinct, Poltergeist, The Omen, Patton. I mean, yeah.
The Rambo movies.
Yep.
Jeff, you magnificent bastard. You listen to my soundtrack.
There was the Voyager theme think he did that one. You know, Star Trek Voyager.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of Star Trek, Ron Jones during the first 4 seasons of Star Trek: The Next Generation, and if you guys follow me on Twitter, you see I live tweet Star Trek occasionally on All Star Trek. And we're in season 1 right now, and man, the music is so 80s. It's like over the top 80s cheese. Not always in a good way either. Just like they're really overloading on the synthesizers, and yeah, it didn't age all that well. But then once you get to like season 3,
Yeah.
his scores kind of take like a more orchestral, kind of tone. It still doesn't completely drop like the 80s synthesizers, but it's like this really nice blend of like, orchestral and 80s, and that's where I think the music started to gel for me in that show. One of the best episode soundtracks, though, is probably from the episode Booby Trap, where it's got all the synthesizers going, and it's like, while they're trying to pilot out of the booby trap. And let's see. Oh, Ron Jones also did the soundtrack to the real Starfleet Academy, the game.
Yes, we won't mention the
Yeah.
other property. Yeah.
And then I think afterwards, Jay Chataway took over, I want to say. Let me double check. I think Jay Chataway took over from Ron Jones. But he did like the soundtrack to The Visitor and DS9, which I'm not a big fan of The Visitor, but that soundtrack is pretty great. Oh yeah, Jay Chataway worked on Next Gen as well. Okay. And the duet soundtrack for DS9 as well was pretty good. Of course, you got to mention Hunt for Red October.
True.
Yeah, nobody should not have Basil Polidoris on their list. He made some bangers in his day, definitely.
The second I thought my door was opening.
No, that's my door opening because I'm going outside and having a cigarette. I'm smoking on live radio.
Yeah, we won't tell anybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Vincent Charles Project, brought to you by
my Marlboro. But
if you're going to talk about Star Trek really quick, you got to talk about the change between season 3 and season 4 in Deep Space Nine.
There was a change
in the intro.
Oh, the intro.
Because in the intro is in seasons 1 through 3 is that kind of
calmer,
lonely French horn, calmer. You're feeling very isolated with the building tension, and then in season 4 it goes very militaristic.
Yeah, well, it's got that orchestra going.
As soon as the Dominion War kicks off, then
season 4 that started with the Klingons. When
it becomes almost anthemic, really.
But what else? Oh, Hunt for Red October, the scene where they're singing the Soviet national anthem, and just I saw on YouTube people are talking about how it goes from like a bunch of like almost drunken actors singing the Soviet national anthem, and it just kind of morphs into like a more professional choir as it goes on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And with that intro song to Hunt for Red October, like right away, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be in for a real treat.
Yeah.
Just like the cinematography, the Russian singing, Do Svidaniya.
Well, that and going from Russian to English without missing a beat right at the beginning of the movie too.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
As much Russian as we could get out of Sean.
Right.
Well, yeah, it was Colin Firth doing most of the Russian because I believe
Peter
he speaks
Firth,
Russian.
right? Not Colin.
Peter. I'm sorry, I get the two mixed up.
There's mirth in the Firths.
Very good actor.
I mean, Colin's one of my celebrity crushes.
So many Firths.
You can't be Firth, but you can be next.
Mike Tyson came first.
Dirty Judy Dench. I'm sorry, that will never make me not laugh. But dirty Judy Dinch.
Oh, before I move away from Star Trek, Wrath of Khan, Amazing Grace.
Yes.
Kind of goes from that nice, you could tell at the beginning it's, definite, Star Trek soundtrack content, morphs into, Amazing Grace on the bagpipes, and then, goes, into like more of an Amazing Grace, straight up Amazing Grace sound. Then kind of slowly comes back to, that Star Trek feel. I kind of like that. Probably one of my top favorite versions of Amazing Grace.
I'm going to be discussing James Horner here when it comes
Oh,
around
yeah.
to be my turn. Yeah, we're going to talk about James Horner, and not in a very good way.
Ooh.
But
and of course, want to bring up John Williams. That's kind of my go-to favorite, composer for movies. Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones. Gonna bring up the Victory Celebration versus Yub Nub argument. I like both.
In no world is Yub Nub an acceptable answer. It's a word we should not know. We let that happen in America. We let that happen.
Yub Nub.
no, not in my timelines,
Hey,
No.
it's not as bad as
Goddamn
mentioning
you.
that other singer that's super popular that nobody can shut up about who just got engaged.
Oh, jeez. Don't you
Don't.
dare.
We will
I'll
be
talk about another Taylor that I like, Garrick.
plain simple Garrick.
Plain simple Garrick. Yeah.
The only
Garrick.
good thing.
He Taylor
the only good-
swiftly.
Oh, Jesus. That was a reach.
The only good thing about Yub Nub was the way that they blended it into the closing credits, because
Yeah.
it anymore, and I would have started throwing Muppets all over the forest.
See, I didn't hate the Ewoks like a lot of people do.
It didn't say.
No, I didn't. I didn't hate them either because they consumed humans.
They're not really cannibals, but they're carnivores.
Yeah.
Morally
Yes.
ambiguous carnivores.
I was gonna say they're not cannibals. They're not eating each other.
No,
we know of.
they're eating people. I prefer to think of them as opportunistic omnivores.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
But yeah, I love
I
the
mean,
Ewoks. because
let's point out the fact
they
that
eat people.
Ewoks are McDonald's eaters. I mean, how many times can you cook a stormtrooper a different way and have it taste differently?
It's
Don't
true.
they all taste the same?
Spices.
When I was serving in the King's Rifles, the locals MBZ tribesmen referred to human flesh as long pig. Didn't much care for it.
Never much cared for it. Oh God, love that show.
Oh, Woodhouse, we lost you too soon.
Oh no, Jira said,
Wait a
when
minute.
the Ewoks premiered, I was the target audience. I'm so morally compromised.
Okay, I'm drawing a blank on that Ewok thing because, like an intelligent person, I try to block most of it out.
There was an Ewoks. I think there was a cartoon and a show,
it?
like a regular live
Yes.
action movie.
I know Luke and Han were on the spit. Was Chewbacca?
No.
He was Chewy.
No.
Okay. I was gonna say if they were gonna
No, I
cook
think- I
him, then
think the
they
Ewoks
might be
considered
classified
them
cannibals.
Yeah, they didn't. They considered him more of a whatchamacallit, sort of distant cousin. The way they
Yeah.
took to him.
And
Sorry,
3PO
tangent.
was their god. I do believe they think
that
I'm
alone
some
makes
sort
me
of
question-
god.
Go.
That definitely makes me question their judgment.
Could be worse. They could have picked Harry Kim.
Jesus! Stop! Stop!
Poor
But
Harry King.
oh.
No, fuck that guy. Seriously.
wait, who? Harry
I
Kim?
said poor Harry Kim, and then I said, nah, fuck that guy.
Who do you hate more, Jordy or Harry?
I don't know. Jordy's a little date rapey.
Jeez.
I mean,
Well, I mean, he set up a hot date as a business meeting.
right.
Oh, sure, Leia, come to my quarters. I'll make your favorite food. We could get to know each other for business.
Sure, I do that, and the cops come.
You changed your hair. It used to be up.
He is
Why do
just
you need to see
this
my
side of-
profile?
Jordy is just this side of, hey, does this rag smell like chloroform?
You're asking me to choose between Geordie LaForge and Harry Kim. That's like asking me how I'd like to be killed. Would you like to be shot or stabbed?
I embrace the power of and.
Let's throw Wesley into it.
I mean, okay.
No, let's not.
Please, no. I mean, Harry Kim, at least as insufferable and just as he was, he still got into, like, what was it, Proton Man on the holodeck?
Yeah, where it was like, yeah.
Captain Proton.
Yeah. So, I mean, he still got into that. I mean, probably just so he could find a girl, but still, being the plucky sidekick in a black and white 50s. Anyway, yeah, I got to go with Jordy. He's just such a twat.
I might have a video coming out about that in a couple of days.
God. I'll like it on both
geez.
accounts if you do.
Yes.
And I'm trying to write this. I'm like, I don't know. Am I being too mean?
No.
No such thing. You want to be objective, but you also want to be a bit of a dick. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
Somebody in Discord the other day was going off on how much they hate Keiko. I said, a friend of mine, Janelle Waz, tried to do a video being fair to Keiko and still couldn't.
Kelp buds, plankton loaf, and sea berries. It's very healthy for you.
Hashtag O'Brien must suffer.
Then he made Keiko suffer with potatoes.
Okay, Vincent, what's your list? Who's on your list?
Real quick, should I go over my least favorite or?
Yes,
Okay.
please do.
I didn't bring up.
Because my list isn't very long at all.
So I didn't even talk about the Rocky soundtracks. I mean, Bill Conti's great. Rocky 3 brought in Eye of the Tiger, and we started seeing more like regular songs in there. Rocky 4's soundtrack is amazing. Vince DiCola. But least favorite, because I had to mention Rocky a little bit, because I do not like the Rocky 5 soundtrack. I didn't like Rocky 5, period.
Nobody does.
But like hip hop and rap songs really don't belong in Rocky. And like the way I describe the Rocky franchise is, Rockies 1 and 2, very much, products of their time. They're very much 70s movies. 3 and 4 feel like 80s movies. Rocky 5 feels like a 90s movie, but in all the wrong ways, including with the weird rap hip hop songs they were throwing in there. So,
which was the style at the time?
Just about. But the other soundtrack I want to bring up, and it's not so much that I hate it or that it's bad, it's just I resent it. The Mission. 1986, I want to say. Because that freaking song with Jeremy Irons playing on his, what was it, an oboe or a flute, got stuck in my head for like a month after I watched that movie. Just over and over looping, just going da-na-na-na-na-na. Just over and over. I couldn't get that song out of my head.
Again, you were fortunate not to live through the Chariots of Fire days.
Yes.
Or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
Oh, God, yes.
God. Oh. That takes me back to a place I don't want to go.
I have Salt 2.
Oh, you want a salt war, do you? No.
So, yeah, that's basically what I have. Basically, the Mission song, it's a good song, but I hate it because I heard it way too many times. It's kind of like Don't Stop Believing. It's a good song that I can't stand to listen to anymore because it got overplayed.
That's okay. You're just a small town girl.
Living in a lonely world.
Okay.
He also wrote Shadows of the Empire,
Oh God.
except he didn't.
Thank God.
It's like the same Steve Perry.
Anyway, favorite composers? Jerry Goldsmith, definitely across the board. I mean, every movie genre. You know, he didn't do so much television, but all of the most of the major releases in the 70s and basically going into the early 90s. I mean, he had his fingerprints on. And if you've seen the film Legend by Tom Cruise, or with Tom Cruise,
Yeah.
replacing Jerry Goldsmith's score was probably one of the stupidest things Ridley Scott ever did. You can find Jerry Goldsmith's original soundtrack on YouTube, but to
You mean you
replace
don't
him
like
with
Tangerine Dream?
oh gee. Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how I love the movie because I mean, come on, Tim Curry. But yeah, that soundtrack. Oh,
But yeah, and especially with John Anderson singing the closing theme, that was
yeah.
that was very painful as well. And yeah, the less we talk about, the better. And
It's been a long road getting from there to here.
Do you have faith of the heart?
I can do anything.
I am working on a gaming stream for YouTube, and that may or may not be a sounder. Actually, it is. That you can just hit randomly while I'm playing a game.
Oh, Jesus, you shouldn't have said that.
I also got Dune guitar as a sounder.
You shouldn't have said that. Because we're going to be pounding that sumbitch for all it's worth.
The 70s jam's got some Kenny Loggins in there,
As they all should.
as well as a little bit of the 80s jam.
Well, go on, Vincent.
Sorry,
We're all pondering that for
derailed.
a minute.
Okay, one of the stupidest things Ridley Scott's ever done, Alien fan here, and I'm billing you tonight for all this drama. Bill away. You do that. Because the only good movie Ridley Scott ever did was The Duelist. And yeah, let's take it outside if you disagree. But
Didn't he do Gladiator?
yeah, he did Gladiator. But
Is that worth watching?
Ridley Scott, to me, is basically a continuing series of disappointments, especially moving up into today in like the last 25 years. Yeah, but I won't get into it. We'll discuss directors on another episode. But let's see. I mentioned Jerry Goldsmith. Bear McCreary, definitely.
Yeah.
All the of all the shows he did, I think probably BSG the best, because all 4 seasons are on Spotify, and those are all on my playlists. And there isn't
4 seasons.
Yeah, 4 seasons. 4 seasons of BSG. But
No, I'm just razzing you because the 70s one.
yeah, that's yeah. But one of the things about the 70s one is he actually incorporated the theme from the 70s one and turned it into the colonial national anthem. So they like play that in the pilot when they're doing the flyby. They start playing the national anthem, and it's the theme to the original Battlestar Galactica, which is cool. And it was a nice callback. But all 4 seasons, there isn't a song on any of those albums that is not worth your time. They're amazing. And Hang on, we're going to put that on there. Sudden
Yeah.
adult content. I saw them over for Bowie back in '87. Awesome show. But
Yeah, Gojira was helping me test out my gaming stream.
but as let's see, Jerry Goldsmith, Bear McCreary, Basil Polidoris, definitely, because in addition to the Red October, he did Starship Troopers, which is just super jingoistic.
Oh God, that's just a theme song that you can feel.
It is. It's just like,
but it takes a lot of trauma to extricate it from Alex Jones's show.
It's sonic propaganda, and I love it. It's amazing. It is. But let's see. He also did the Conan. One of the worst, and I'm trying to think of his name. One of the worst composers, and he always seems to do sequels. And let me look up the name real quick.
No, you're doing that. Something about Bear McCreary I wanted to bring up too. I mean, yeah, everybody knows him from Game of Thrones too and BSG. But one of my favorite ones is one that it's really an underrated show that not a lot of people remember, and that's Defiance.
Oh, yes, definitely.
I mean, just the whole score of that. It's kind of like Alien Nation, how the movie Alien Nation kind of felt. It just in that there's a discordance in it, but it's catchy.
And for the life of me, I can't find this guy's name. I think his name is Leonard Rosenman. He did the score for Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home, and I think that's probably
Star Trek 4.
I think that's probably the only decent piece of music he made. He did the soundtrack for Conan the Destroyer, which was the sequel to Conan the Barbarian, and it is absolutely one of the worst soundtracks.
I'm still pissed we never got Conan in the game.
Movie.
I'm sorry, what was that? Orty?
Oh, I said it just goes along with the movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm assuming the movie was bad.
Oh, good Lord,
Yes.
Yeah.
If you ever want to, okay, I got to talk about Conan the Destroyer for a minute. If you ever want to see a movie that didn't know who its core demographic was supposed to be and had no concept of why the original one was successful, that's the movie you want to see.
It
took a movie that almost had an R rating and said, you know what? Kids dig this shit. Look how popular Dungeons and Dragons is. Let's make it a trope of every D&D adventure there possibly is and put Arnold Schwarzenegger and Wilt Chamberlain and Grace Jones.
And don't forget Jailbait Q.
I thought you were going to say Grace Kelly for a second.
Yeah, Jailbait Q was in that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Janelle's going, who?
Which is funny because they fully intended to market this movie to kids and took a lot of the gore out of it while simultaneously making it all about rape.
Oh, jeez.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably why I never watched any of the Conan movies.
Oh, the first one's fantastic.
Oh, yeah, the first one, absolutely fantastic.
I read through the Wikipedia page.
Especially James Earl Jones. Oh my God, he brings it. Definitely, he brings it.
As Thulsa Doom, nobody could have done Thulsa Doom like
no. Yeah.
But moving on to here we go. Goj, she's on fire tonight. Terrible girl boss movies, yeah, definitely. But moving on to bad sound. Well, yeah, I've already talked about Leonard Rosenman. James Horner. I was going to bring up James Horner. Everybody loves him because of Titanic. Yeah, and I'll just say that even a blind squirrel finds an acorn once in a while.
Yeah.
Yes, he did Star Trek 2. Yes, he did a whole bunch of movies in the 80s. I'm trying to think of that one. But everything that he did in the 80s, with the exception of Star Trek 2, he had this fascination with steel drums.
Man. He did Land
And
Before Time, apparently.
and he would, in every film in the 80s that he did, he would put steel drums in it for no apparent fucking reason. And I'm like,
Because
okay.
Miami Vice was so hot.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
jeez.
hot.
I'm
And
still confused by the movie Titanic. I've never seen that one.
I
yeah,
have not either.
I've
Neither
I've
have
seen,
seen
I.
bits of Titanic.
I've seen the Olympic. I've never seen the Titanic.
But yeah, but
Joe
the one
Polkraft was my
kicker
friend.
is that James Horner did the score for Crawl, and I love that movie.
Yes.
And
Featuring the hot Michael Eddington.
yeah, and in addition to, you know,
Oh, he
putting
did
steel
Glory.
drums in a lot of his 80s films, he didn't do it in Crawl, but he had this fascination for trying to sound like Wagner. And he did it in Star Trek 2 as well. And if you listen to him and then you go ahead and say, listen to anything in Wagner's Ring Cycle, in 5 minutes after listening, you'll hear what Horner's trying to do.
Yeah.
Except he couldn't do it as well as Wagner did. And also, I'm not a big fan of Wagner to begin with.
Mm.
But yeah. And again,
Yeah, because
Holy
we
shit.
all know Holst is better than Wagner, so why listen to Wagner?
exactly.
Orff is better than the both.
Yeah, Mars, Bringer of War, one of the best things ever written, I think. But yeah,
Well,
that's-
I'm looking through James Horner's filmography, and you know what's on there? Sneakers.
There you
Mhm.
go.
Well, his soundtrack for that, it's kind of bland,
Oh, all right.
which is to his
Especially
credit,
given the money.
definitely.
Hmm.
You know, it's something you don't notice,
Oh, okay.
which is
Yeah,
not really
I
what a
would be
soundtrack
hard
is
pressed to
supposed do.
remember a score. I would have to watch it and actually physically pay
Mhm.
attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a good soundtrack is supposed to, you know, accentuate what's being shown on the screen.
Right.
And you're supposed to remember that as well as what you see on the screen.
Yeah.
The music is supposed to be memorable.
Well,
And-
it's
Literally
funny.
the only. Go ahead.
It's funny you say that because my number 9 I picked because of that, and that was Ennio Morricone.
I was just wondering if anybody was going to mention him. I was actually going to shame all of you if nobody. I didn't mention it because I know somebody else is, and I'm not going to steal their answer by going first. I just purposely didn't say it.
Yeah, there's a couple I didn't mention because I knew others would hit it. But yeah, that one, nothing. I mean, the other sections that stand out to me, but it's the perfect companion piece. And you look at his discography, if you will. It just, yeah, it's just there. It adds that little bit of subtle flavor the movies need.
Yeah, if you look for it on Spotify, just because we're talking about Morricone, there is a there's a track. I think it's like 11 minutes long of Wall of Voodoo performing every Morricone theme.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Hashtag take notes. But one of his that's like really underrated, because everybody remembers him from the Eastwood and spaghetti westerns. He did the soundtrack to The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing,
Mhm.
and the score is very monotonous. It's very electronic. There's virtually no instruments other than the keyboard that's being used and maybe some percussion, and it's not something that you remember. When you watch the film, you don't immediately think of the soundtrack. It's something that you have to experience because it actually permeates the film. It's like actually like like The Thing. It's like an organism that'll like copy and duplicate and live inside anything. The soundtrack actually lives inside the film when you think of it, and I think that was probably his intent because it works so well.
Yeah.
I mean, you just watch it, you can't help feeling very unnerved. Even though I've seen it hundreds of times, it still gives you that feeling, that very like sense of impending doom. And yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Sneakers too. Literally, the only song I can remember from that movie is "Chain of Fools."
Oh, oh. See, I was kind of stressing out before, starting the podcast today because I'm like, oh, what kind of, what soundtracks do I hate? I don't know if I could think of any composers. And I suppose if like, I don't really think about like hating like soundtracks or composers. It's just I just don't remember them. Like if a really good soundtrack, I'll remember and be like, yeah, that was great. The Dune soundtrack was really great. But then if like if a soundtrack's not good, I'm just like, yeah, that was there.
Yeah, and Gachura mentioned Hans Zimmer just now in the chat.
Yeah.
Hans Zimmer did the soundtrack for the Dune remake,
Yeah.
and it is just there is nothing memorable except
No.
maybe for like midway through the movie when the Atreides actually arrive on Arrakis, and then the bagpipes kick in. And that's an extremely powerful moment right there. But that's the only one in 2 movies that he's gotten with that. And
That and
yeah,
the Sardaukar throat chant.
yeah, but does that really count though?
Not really.
Somebody
it really is a juxtaposition to Dune 84 though, in that it's like, how can this be? He is the Quiddax Sadark, and then the music just, it all rises up and just grabs you by the testicles and swings you around and everything in the movie did that. Dune 2000s is the exact opposite.
Exactly, except for like I said, the one part with the bagpipes when they land and they're getting ready to head into Arakeen, and what you just said, the Sardaukar throat singing, which is really friggin' awesome. But yeah, other than that, it is completely and totally unmemorable. And like Janelle said, she said she doesn't hate anything. And I want to say that I don't hate it. I'm indifferent towards it.
Yeah.
For me, I think that's more powerful than actually hating something.
Well,
yeah, because music should make you feel something.
Yeah, the opposite of love isn't hate; it's apathy.
Ennui.
Really quickly, I want to mention somebody took the sandworm scene from the new Dune movies and put Toto's score over it. Riding the worm. It works so well.
Oh, I bet.
If I could find it, I'll have to send it to you guys.
I think they should just completely rescore the new movies with the Totos.
Yes.
For the bagpipes.
You can't ride a sandworm without shredding guitars.
Exactly. And I think if anybody out there who's listening likes to do fan edits of films, yeah, that's a project. And I don't think it would be all that difficult either to just replace soundtracks.
And you've got a deep well to draw from too, because there was Vince was talking about earlier, a lot of it ended up with the scenes on the cutting room floor, like not even on the OST.
Oh, I think I found it. I'll send it to you guys.
Cool.
Nice.
So I have a question for everyone.
Yes.
What is your go-to soundtrack to listen to?
Go-to to listen to, like for like daily listening, or
like you just like say you're going to do a project or you're going to work on something and that you need that soundtrack to be playing.
So you're talking instrumental, not actual.
Not necessarily.
Okay. For me, there's one that I can mention. You can find it on YouTube. I don't know the composer's name because he's Japanese, but in 2010 they did a live-action version of Space Battleship Yamato. Find the soundtrack because it's absolutely amazing. And yes, I will listen to that entire soundtrack over and over and over again.
Awesome. I will make a note of that one.
For a while, I was listening to the Dune soundtrack and then a little bit of Hunt for Red October. But whenever I'm like writing or doing something, I tend to listen to video game soundtracks. Like I know there's like a compilation Harvest Moon soundtrack video out there that I'll throw on the computer. But the Sega CD Echo the Dolphin, like the first Echo game, but like ported to the Sega CD. That one, it's kind of like an eerie soundtrack, but it's really well done. It's great. I'll that's usually my go-to if I'm like, oh, I don't know what to listen to. I'll just put on Echo.
Nice.
If I just need background noise, I'll go between the BSG remake soundtrack or The Power of One, which ironically is Hans Zimmer.
See, that's the thing about Hans Zimmer.
It's
he always does the big tentpole movies. The big releases during the year, and those invariably end up being the most forgettable films. And I don't want to say that his soundtracks have anything to do with it, but I think they partially contribute to.
See, but that kind of tracks because The Power of One was back in '92, and it wasn't a really well-known movie.
Yeah.
So, it's very heavily stepped in Africana, South African music around 30s and 40s. So tribal music. So it's very pleasant to have on in the background. It's like Medicine Man in that regard, where it's anyway. But if it's going to be just a soundtrack to play, it's the single soundtrack.
Okay.
Now I'm going through James Horner's filmography. Like, at least Google's calling it filmography. I don't know. He composed it. And it looks like he's got a Sean Connery movie randomly in here. The Name of the Rose. Anybody ever heard of it?
Yes.
Yes. Fantastic movie.
Good, bad? Wait, what did you
say? Very good movie.
Oh, it's good. Okay.
Very good.
Because I'm like, oh, is that Sean Connery?
Christian Slater, Ron Perlman.
That was the screen debut of Christian Slater.
Oh. Okay.
A lot of buggery in that movie.
It's based on one of Umberto Eco's novels, and I could spend hours trying to describe what Umberto Eco actually writes about, because he's basically in love with his own voice. Well, as far as writing, yeah, he's like an Italian Stephen King. He writes a book like about 1,000 pages thick, and doesn't really say much.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah.
I think Goj just called
Imagine
me a sweet
someone
summer
who loves
child.
themselves more than David Lynch loves himself. I'm sorry, I love and respect Lynch, but just sometimes it's like, holy shit, dude.
I'm gonna let that go.
You and I fight me for the soul of America, you Lynchy shit. No.
I'm gonna let that go. One, because you're my brother from another mother, and number two, I'm too tired to fucking fight right now. So yeah.
Number three, deep down I'm right.
Number four, you could kiss the darkest part of my lily white ass. I'm surprised fight hasn't shown up in the chat.
And I say the greatest director was David Lynch.
Ridley Scott.
Oh, and on that note, I think we're gonna have to go ahead and call it a night. I know we don't have anything following us up immediately, but got a few personal things that need taken care of. So, Orty, where can we find you?
Well, thank you for asking. You can find me, surprisingly, with everything going on, still as Ordnance Packard on Twitter. You can find me this week, Tuesday night, on Manorama with you and Rick and hopefully Jeff again someday, and Rancor Steve and some random Canadian, even if they do happen to be in Texas. And Wednesday, you can find me on Rick and Orty with Rick. It's my off week. It's my light week. Only 2.
Sweet. And Jeff, where can we find you, sir?
About an hour. I'll be doing my Lost Wonder podcast, Space and Science. Thursday night at 9:30, I will be doing episode 2 of The Bard's Forge, and I'll be talking about beer and sausages. And
Nice.
then next Sunday at 8 p.m., ITC 71 will be back with Eleanor of Aquitaine and a couple other stories. And as I write that, I will tell you the soundtrack that I always listen to when I'm writing my shows. And that is Clinad and Robin of Sherwood.
Cool. Very cool. Janelle, where can we find you?
So you can find me on the Twitter, on the YouTube, and even on the Instagram if that's your thing. Just under Janelle Waz. I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel where I talk Star Trek, video games, and whatever else I feel like talking about. If you want, become a member, throw me a couple bucks, and I may even give you a shout out in my videos.
Nice. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and call it a night. Thank you, Orty. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Janelle, for joining me this evening and talking about a very varied and wide subject matter. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another episode of the Vincent Charles Project. And until then, thank you all for joining us this evening and have a good week.
Hail Hydra.